Hey, I figured today would be a great day to replace this old hatchet handle. I got this from my father. This thing's probably 50, 60 years old. And I got too many spikes in here. And the handle itself is okay, but I'm afraid that this is gonna split. So I figured today would be a great day to do this. So stay tuned and we'll go through how to go about making a hatchet handle. Okay, so the first step is just taking off the old hatchet head. And then it took a couple minutes. I had a bunch of old cement nails in here. And you see that was just crushed a bit. So here we go, just starting with a big old piece of purpleheart. Really, really hard wood. And just tracing it roughly with a Sharpie. And doing the initial trimming. By the way, if you're liking my videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about them also, I'd really appreciate it. So if you watched my fork video the other day, since this is the three-dimensional thing, I taped back on the sides so that I can have a nice flat surface when I'm cutting the front and the back. So this is a traditional way to cut out these three-dimensional type pieces like that fork I did or a cabriole leg. So I figured I'd give the old spoke shave a try, and this works, but this is going to take forever. Like I said, this wood is hard. So what I did is I just went over and put some 80 grit sandpaper on the belt sander, and that worked much better. So this whole process of sanding all this probably took a good 45 minutes. I've cut a lot of this video out of here. Like I've said before, sanding is no fun, and watching somebody sand is even less fun. Here I'm defining the shoulder with a little Japanese pull saw. It's kind of tough to do that on the sander, so I figured I'd get a nice sharp edge with this. And this wood is so hard, my God. I was afraid to hurt the teeth on this thing. So sanding, sanding, sanding. I kept going over and doing some test fits over and over again. Probably did about 20 test fits to make sure I was getting a nice tight fit inside the head. Here I'm doing some final sanding. I started with an 80 grit here. Again, this stuff is so hard. Then I took it up to 150 eventually. Here I am cutting the kerf for the wedge. I wanted to make sure I got that right down the center. I only got into this about half an inch, and then I had enough of a kerf to be able to get it into the bandsaw. Here I'm using my Rockler branding iron. It says handcrafted by Bob Amarant. It's a nice little feature. Good thing to have in your shop. Works much better on flat surfaces. There was really no flat surface on here, so that's as good as I can get. Actually branded it on both sides. Okay, so that came out pretty nice. I'm going to go with that. So what I'm going to do is just put this in here. That fits beautifully. This is a piece of beech. I'm going to use this for the wedge. I'm just going to glue this in here. going to use my little Thor's hammer. I love making mallets. This is one of them. And I'm going to trim that off, and then I'm going to put some finish on it. Okay, so finish, a little boiled linseed oil. This is a great finish for workbench tops, tool handles. Yeah, baby. So since I got a new handle, I figured I'd clean up the head a bit, and then I went after it with the sander. I know I'm taking the paint off of this, and I'm going to most likely paint this either black again, or maybe even red. And that pad was just a little bit too big, so I'm going after it with my little pneumatic sander here. So there's the final product. All came out good. Good way to spend an afternoon, and whack! Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.